Nerds will inherit the copier. Well, no, it wasn't much of a burp. If I was drinking Coca-Cola, that would really give me a good nerd-style burp. But I don't drink it very often. Very rarely I drink it. I used to drink that shit all the time. Not anymore. It's not good for the teeth, especially. It's too much sugar. I'm more concerned for my teeth, actually, to be quite honest. So now we're just going to reduce that. I'm wondering if we're going to keep it on 100 and just enlarge, or not enlarge, but just focus on a section of this if we can. This is going to be a tricky one to make look good. It's got a pretty boring looking look about it. So we're just going to make this, try and make this one look interesting. We're going to make it a negative. Sometimes that's all you can do is make them into negatives to make them look a bit more interesting. Going to cool down the hue, not too far. I think we just did the contrast, but this doesn't go with contrast, it goes with this. So we're just going to add some red. And the sharpness goes in, and the satch as usual. Our colour balance. Ooh, we did it. How did we do that? Obviously, you can touch it there. You don't have to go duh, you go duh, like that. One go, that's interesting. You just have to touch where the arrow is. Instantly strip the black, instantly boost the black. So there you go, that's an interesting thing I've learnt on this fuck-ass copier system. Indeed, that's interesting. I wonder if they show that in the manual. I don't bother reading manuals generally, only when I'm clearing paper jams or stuff like that. Anyway, this is what we're copying. Same way, the premier Chinese magazine in Australia, but it's actually printed on paper, on newspaper type material, which I really don't like. But it can actually it can look really good, this newspaper material, if you set the copier up correctly. It can look a treat, actually. It's actually quite fun converting a dull-looking paper image into a bright, wet-looking image instead of the dryness that you get. That didn't slide very well, unfortunately. So let's see how this looks. Let's see if we've made it look good. Interesting, the faces are all blue and there's little bits of colour, a bit of green, so maybe the hue is good. I think a background colour would absolutely make this look better. So we're just going to put that aside. I still don't like it that much, but I like parts of it. I think the lips against the blue faces looks good. So now we're just going to go, I wonder what background colour we're going to add to jazz it up a bit. It's not going to be blue. It's going to be either yellow or magenta. I think we're going to make it yellow. The happy colour. I call it the happy colour. Wondering if we could maybe add more red. I think we only partly pumped up the red. Oh, fuck off, Konica, you stupid interface. You stupid user interface. It really pisses me. So we're just going to pump it all up. So let's see how we go again this time. If we can make this look good. So we're just going to roll it, slide it across. All right, let's just close that. Let's see if the new adjustments will make it look a lot nicer. So let's see. And hopefully we've moved it in a better way, even though it's not sliding very well. I can't read Chinese. No, I wouldn't be able to learn it. It's too hard. Anyway, that looks a lot better now. We've focused on the nicest, on one of the nice parts of the picture. So you can see the yellow's a bit wishy-washy, but it adds a little bit of extra. And maybe because I've added red into the mix, that it's made it look a lot better. So I'm wondering now if we can just put this on the recycle pile. This is what we just did, primarily the faces here. So now we're just going to drop that, and we're going to use this as our master copy. So I'm wondering what part's going to be the centre. This is the challenging bit. So I'm wondering if it's going to be that corner. So now we have to switch over to copied paper. we're going to have to make sure the borders are not too big. So we're going to have to enlarge a bit of it. So this will go to the top and this will be enlarged off. So we're just going to put it in the top corner like that, and we're just going to overlap the edge with the edge of the scale, the little plastic bit around the glass, the frame. So we're just going to put it there like so, and we're going to apply as an enlargement. Going here, we're going to apply 104 for the X and the 104 for the Y. Okay, and now we just have to, I think we leave those in play. We switch off this, and we're just going to switch this off. And the colour adjust. The brightness will now be in the middle. And I think the hue will be in the middle. And the red, we're going to centre that as well. And I think, let's see how we go. Okay, let's see how the first one comes out. Let's hope the yellow looks a lot brighter. Oh yeah, it's a matte finish, so the yellow wasn't going to look too bright. I just realised it's a matte finish, but hey, the yellow's come up quite well now, and this looks really good. The only thing I've got a problem with is again, we've got this problem with the fixing is not too good. You've got like tiny little things that feel like bubbles in the toner. But apart from that, it's a good looking image, and the colours are brilliant. The yellow's just added some really looks good. So I'm going to try and ignore the fixing problem. It just comes and goes every now and then when there's a lot of black toner. So it's a real nuisance, you know, it ruins the image. It's usually only very minor like that. You can't really see it on camera except where I've rubbed the paper and the toner's come off. Toner is, of course, if you're not a toner head or you're not someone familiar, there it goes, it's still happening. Some images just yield this annoying result. Toner is just the ink, the powdered ink. If you're not a toner head or not au fait, if you're just a newbie when it comes to photocopiers and their terminology, toner is just an ink that goes into it, and it's a powdered ink. It's not liquid like inkjet ink when you've put on you put into your Pixma or whatever, your little small home printers. Well, they use ink. They're a liquid, whereas this is not ink as such. This is dry powder, and it's a plastic powder that melts when it goes through the hot section after it's already been. I won't go into the fucking process of photocopiers. They've come a long way since the stuff that I've known, so I don't know everything. I know that the toner is melted into the paper at the end, and yeah, it should stick to the paper nicely, but some reason I keep getting these bubbled. It just appears to be like bubbling, and it just rubs off. It's a real nuisance. I don't know why it's happening. I'm not going to let it make me not sleep at night, so to speak. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Just comes every now and then, and it seems to happen with certain types of images that I make. I just can't work out why it does that. But I think it's quite a common problem. Maybe it's the paper. Maybe there's something on the paper that's causing it. But anyway, considering I thought it was going to be a boring one, this has actually come up, apart from the curling and the bubbling, this has come up a treat.